Right now, your competitors are quietly building a creator army that is flooding TikTok and Instagram with content every single day. And you don't even know it. Why? Because they're not running paid ads, and they're certainly not working with influencers anymore. They're running an organic UGC system. The same system that's done my agency over 290 million views in just 9 months with 0 paid ads. It's the exact same system that we use for the apps we work with that's literally done millions of app downloads. And before you think that's some crazy outlier, it's not, because I've done billions of views as a creator myself, and I know exactly why this works and exactly how to replicate it. So in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you the complete A to Z breakdown on how to build and run your own organic UGC creator community. The same one that's done millions of app downloads and over 290 million views. You're literally not going to find a more broken down system than this one right here anywhere else. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today, we're gonna be covering the UGC growth engine. It's going to be a complete 3-month system to recruit, launch, and scale your user-generated content campaign for your app. From zero to a full creator network that basically runs itself. You see, because a common misconception in the UGC space is that running a creator program is really hard. And while that can be true, it normally isn't if you just find the best creators. By finding a highly vetted creator network and putting them into your system, they can pretty much run your UGC campaign on autopilot. But of course, you have to have a system in place in order to do this. So that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're going to break down the 3 phases over a 3-month cycle, starting with discovery sprint, then moving on to the double down, all the way into full velocity. But without further ado, we will start with month number 1, phase number 1, discovery sprint. This is where we're going to be doing the creator recruiting, arguably the most important part when running your own UGC community. With horrible creators, you can do absolutely nothing. You can do all this awesome pre-production work, but if your creator partners are not executing, then you literally have nothing. So creator recruiting is arguably the most important part of the entire system, and it's basically the foundation for the entire future of your UGC program. So you want to make sure that you find the right people before you ever even write a single word on the brief. And first things first, step number 1, you want to build the interest form. You can use Google Forms. Some people like to use Typeform, but you want to include the creator pay, the posting expectations, the app context, and 2 to 3 qualifying questions. These questions are, link your portfolio, link your TikTok, your Instagram, anything that I can check out to see how good you are at creating content. And then also I can see, what your personality looks like, how you look on camera, all those sorts of amazing things. This is basically the filter before you talk to anybody. And honestly, this is the best thing that you can do, because you don't want a ton of people that are not qualified to sign up and to, take your time. Moving into number 2, you have distributor across all channels at once. So I like to post this on RTech. I like to tweet the opportunity. I'll also DM educators and community leaders in my niche, and I'll also drop it in relevant Discord or Slack communities that I'm in as well. So what does this mean? DM educators and community leaders. If you find a mentor or some sort of creator community, if you make good friends with them, it's a really good way to find great new creators that are coming up through their program. But most importantly, I like to post on RTech, and it's super simple. So this is one of the campaigns that I run right now at 11.3 million views and 1.5 million likes. And this is exactly how I started. I clicked post a job in the top right. I typed in the brand name, the job title, and a quick description of the app. I put in the budget range, and immediately I got signups. As you can see, if I go to the applicant section, I have over 37 applicants right now. 3 of those are new. Basically, I can see exactly, how the creator creates content, what they look like on screen, how many followers they have, all those sorts of amazing things. There's literally a portfolio built into RTech, so this makes it so easy. And if I want to hire one of these creators, all I have to do is just press send a message. I'll do the creator negotiation, and then we'll come together with a price, and we'll actually bring them onto the campaign. But before you do any of this, you want to make sure that you review the applications and shortlist. So filter for your niche, your relevance, the content quality, and engagement rate. You don't necessarily want to just chase the follower accounts, because authenticity and engagement matter far more for UGC performance. So a common misconception and a trap that a lot of people get into is that they just hire the creator that's went viral in the past. If a creator went viral, that automatically means that they're the best creator in the world. Well, that's not necessarily true. And I'll paint a picture for you. I've literally done billions of views on social media myself as a UGC creator. If you were to put me on a fashion app that's super, Gen Z female, then obviously I'm not going to perform. But if you were to put me on a sports betting app, then chances are I'm gonna go viral. So that's exactly why this doesn't really all that matter that much. You just want to find creators that actually fit your niche and fit the character on screen that can tell the story that you want them to tell. And so what this means to me is I would much rather take the bet on a newer creator that fits exactly who we're trying to portray than take the bet on a creator that's went super viral but doesn't fit the character on screen, if that makes sense. Let's say you find that creator. The next step will be interviewing the shortlisted creator. So a quick call is really important here because you're going to be accessing the communication. You're going to be talking about the product. Make sure that they understand the product and their coach ability. It costs more to offboard later than to pass now. I think this is really important because if you just find the best creator right now, you don't have to, go through that uncomfortable conversation of letting go. Letting them go on the program. So it's really important that you actually do your due diligence here. And it's also a great time to build rapport with your creator. So the better you can build a relationship with your creator, the more they care about their content and the more that they want to go viral for your app. So it's really important to do that. Ask where they're from, what things they're interested in, what got them into UGC, and a little bit about their background. Build that rapport so that they care about what they're doing here. The next phase will be issuing contracts. You can negotiate rates, you can onboard them and get them set up to the group chat. You can do this in any order, but you want to make sure that it does get done. I like to think that you typically find the best results with UGC in a cohort of 5 to 15 creators. I like to say UGC is a shots on goal game as long as your shots are calculated. So to me, that means the more volume that you put up with calculated shots, typically you find the best results. And so you need anywhere between 5 to 15 creators to do so. You'll send the creator agreements, you'll lock in their rates, and then invite them into the shared channel. You can use Slack, Discord, or WhatsApp, but I prefer Discord. I think it's the most easiest for creators, or WhatsApp. Slack is a little bit complex for some people, though if you utilize Slack, definitely do it for your creators as well, if that's something that is already in your system. All right, and moving on to phase 2, we have building the brief. Also very, very important. If you get this right, everything downstream gets a lot easier. Starting with step number 1, you want to write for clarity above all. What this means to me is most UGC creators will not sit there and read your huge, giant creator brief. So you need to keep it brief. You got to keep it very simple and easy to understand. You want to show them how to get premium access to your app. You want to give them a link to the app store. You want to give a quick description on what the brand is about, a quick description on what they should and should not do, and then a bunch of example content. If you could do that, your creators have a much higher chance of being successful than giving them some giant, huge brief that they have to come through. Moving on to number 2, you want to include all critical context. So again, app overview, your target audience, your key features, your brand voice, what not to say, and competitor callouts to avoid. Leave nothing up for interpretation. You kind of want to ride that fine line. You want to make sure you include all that stuff, but not too intense. Because once you do this, you will understand most creators do not read. So another great method here is you can attach a loom, all those sorts of amazing things as well, so they can just watch instead of having to read a giant paragraph. Moving on to number 3, define the 6 required content formats, 1 per pillar. So I divide UGC into 6 main content pillars, starting with POV, talking head, text on screen, trending audio, relatable, and reaction. Of course, there is a lot more than this, but these are the main 6 content pillars that are the fundamentals of every successful UGC program. So when developing your creator brief, you want to make sure that you have every single one of these formats as required content formats. These are going to be the creator's first 6 posts in the entire month 1 data set. Every creator shoots all 6 of these, and you'll learn more on exactly why they do that. Moving on to phase number 3, this is the kickoff call. Your one shot to align everyone and build momentum before a single frame is filmed. You'll host a 30-minute minimum group video call, walk through the brief live line by line, and teach the account warm-up process. You'll also be able to build genuine community energy. This is really important. Building rapport in your creator community is arguably one of the most important things as well, because without a community that cares, they're just going to be lazy. You want to make sure that, you make good friends with these people, you build rapport with them as much as possible, because that means they're going to try so much harder in their videos to make them go viral and help people see your product. You can treat this like a team launch, not a corporate briefing. Creator enthusiasm directly affects output quality. Another great tip here is also recording the meeting so you can add that to the brief later in case anybody wasn't able to make it, all that sort of awesome stuff. A shared group chat where creators post wins, ask questions, and encourage others dramatically increases posting consistency. Community accountability is free leverage. So this is another great thing. When you're developing your Discord, your Slack, your WhatsApp, you want to make sure that all the creators are active. You're sending in wins. You're building that community rapport, not just on the onboarding call, but through the entire campaign. All right, moving on to phase number 4, we have the launch plan. Set the go live date, complete warm up, and prep review pipeline before content rolls in. I like to set the launch date anywhere between 5 to 7 days once I've got my creator roster full, because that will allow them enough time to go through that creator warm-up phase. That'll have them, allow them enough time to start stocking up on some videos, studying the creator brief, all those sorts of amazing things. And then you want to confirm warm-up completion before live. So check in the day before. Any creator who has not done their niche engagement should delay launch. Cold accounts significantly underperform warmed-up accounts. It's always better to allow your creator to spend a few more days warming than posting videos that don't get any views. Every single post matters, and if they didn't go through their warm-up phase, then chances are their videos are going to do very poor. So I like to say that it's always better to allow the creator to go a couple more days with warming up if that's what they have to do before they post their live piece of content. Then the next step will be setting up the review pipeline. So you want to designate a reviewer, whether that's somebody on your team, a content manager, or you're taking on that role. But you just got to make sure that you're actually reviewing this content. So when you have a 10 creator team, they're sending in videos for review, and if you're just not responding, they're going to begin to get pretty frustrated with you. So simply what they're going to do is they're going to follow the required content formula, which is the content pillars, and they're going to send those for review. There's 1 or 2 different ways you can do this. You can just do this with the first 6 videos, or you can do it with the first 30 videos, whatever you have to do. But I think this is really important for a ton of different reasons. Creators submit before posting. No expectations in month 1. So all videos go into the shared folder, RTech, or review channel before going live. This is how you catch brand misinterpretation before it reaches an audience. So in case anybody has the wrong messaging, they're going to send that video in for review first. I think that if you could just go ahead and catch the bad messaging or the bad habits before they form, it's very, very important. And that's why it's important to at least do the first 6 videos for review. But if you don't want to sit there and review every single piece of content, you can just do the first 6. You're going to be looking for brand accuracy and hook strength. Check, is the app represented correctly? Is the audio clear? Is the hook strong? Does the CTA match the brief? All that sort of awesome stuff. If for whatever reason you do not like the video, you're allowed to give specific actionable revision notes. You can say the hook feels slow, start with the result instead, make it more engaging. Fast, clear feedback builds trust and improves feature output quality. So creator films, they submit the content for review. Either you or a team member reviews it, you approve or revise it, the post goes live, and then you'll track those analytics just like I showed you here through RTech. All right, phase number 6 is actually where the discovery sprint ends, and the reason why it's called the discovery sprint to begin with. It's the end of month 1. So month 1 is pure data collection. You don't really need to optimize yet. You're not really experiencing multi-million views yet. It's really about studying the data. So posting, watching, recording, and then making the hard decisions. So you'll pull up the 30-day performance data from RTech, which you can see here. You can filter through 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, or all time. You're going to identify the top performing formats and creators. Remember here, we tested all of these: POV, talking head, text on screen, trending audio, relatable, reaction. All these creators have to go through these cycles. So it's very clear to see at the end of the discovery sprint which one of these formats actually worked. You'll watch all the 6 content pillars, which creators posted consistently and hit their numbers, where did things consistently underperform, and where did things do well. This is where you make the big decisions. This is really where the strategy starts to align here. You're going to make kill decisions. Loser formats and creators both go. So, you got to think to yourself, this is not personal. If somebody is just underperforming, there's no sense in keeping on working with them, unless you believe that they have a ton of potential. But if they're consistently getting low views, they're consistently missing the mark, it's easier just to let them go and find a new creator than try to sit there and coach them. You see, it's not personal, it's data. Keeping underperformers drains budget and attention from what's actually working. Be decisive before month 2 starts. Again, it's easier to trim the fat now than later. And so you can take a look at this visual here. Month number 1, simulated format performance benchmark. You've got talking head is 88% better. You've got relatable, which is 76% better. Trending audio, which is 64% better. POV, which is 55%. Reaction, 40%. And then text on screen would be 26%. So it's pretty easy to see this. RTech will allow you to see this as well with your top videos here. all those sorts of awesome things. So if you take a look at this, what to watch, format consistently hits high views and completion rate. The decision will be continue to keep scaling on that, so double down. High views but low CTR, views without installs or engagement. You want to make sure that you're continuing to keep working with these, because if you're having high views, then there's something you can still do here. You don't just have to kill the format immediately. So I say iterate. Well, what does that mean? You want to take the fundamentals of what made the video go viral, but maybe you just have to increase the CTA a little bit. Maybe you just have to show the product a little bit more. This is something that we do see a lot, and it's really important to go through this 30-day phase, because without it, you would have never known. You would have had creators, going viral, getting millions and millions of views. You're paying tons of money for them, and then you're just not getting downloads. So it's really important to put a pause after the 30 days and study these formats. If you have a video that has high views but low CTR, that's okay. You just need to iterate on it. Consistent low performance, underperformance across all creators. You just want to go ahead and kill it. Creator inconsistency. If people are missing posts, they're giving you excuses. Oh, I was on vacation, or oh, I had this come up. It's honestly easier just to offboard them before it becomes a giant issue. If a creator is just absolutely nailing it, they have consistent posts and strong numbers, you can make that decision to have them post 2 to 3 times a day, or sometimes even more. I like to say double down, which is exactly what month 2 is called. It's called double down, and you'll see exactly why here in just a second. Phase number 7, week number 5. This is day 31 through 35. This is going to be a tighter, better performing roster always beats large, inconsistent ones. So after going through that phase of eliminating bad formats, after eliminating the bad creators, you're going to have a very lean creator team that knows exactly what to do. And I'll paint a picture for you. If you know that POV doesn't work, relatable doesn't work, text on screen doesn't work, and reaction doesn't work, your new creators are only going to be doing talking head and trending audio. It's going to be much more lean because you've already trimmed all the fat, and they're going to have a much higher success rate because they're not wasting their time on the video formats that we know simply just do not work. So starting with step number 1 under this phase is going to be offboarding those underperformers, which we've already mentioned. You'll also recruit replacements using your campaign as proof. Now that you have real results and a working system to show, that attracts better quality applicants than a cold brief ever could on day 1. So again, what does this mean? When you hire a new creator, let's say you fire Jimmy because he just was posting inconsistently, his results were horrible, and you hire a new creator, well, they're automatically going to be brought into a system where they can go study the other creator profiles. They can look in your Discord and see all the wins. They can see all the creators in the community, and they can be more successful because now, again, they're not wasting their time on all these content pillars that we know don't work. They're only spending their times on the ones that we know do work, which would be, in this case, talking head and trending audio. So if they are doing those things, typically they have a much better chance of going viral because they're just not wasting their time on stuff that doesn't work. Now, this is optional. You can reward your top performers. You can increase their rate. You can give them bonuses or maybe even early access to some sort of new features. Now, this is completely optional, but you can also reward your top performers. This can be very, very clutch sometimes because you can increase their rate. You can give them a few bonuses to keep them incentivized to keep going viral. If a creator does millions and millions of views for you and they're not being paid correctly, well, they have a much higher chance of dropping off and working with somebody else and or just not feeling very motivated anymore. So it's really important to either give them some sort of rate increase, some sort of bonus, something like that if they have gone viral in the past. Your best creators are high ROI assets, so take care of them before a competitor does. Now, you'll probably make that mistake at one point, and once you do, you'll never make that mistake again. But it's okay. Everybody has to go through that phase. Speaking of which, moving on to phase number 8, this is brief 2.0. So you'll remove the formats that bombed. You'll double down on the top 2 to 3 content pillars, which is something that we've already painted a picture for. And you'll also add real video examples from month 1. So think about the creator brief you just made. You're going to remake that creator brief, but only with the real relevant content examples from creators in your network that went viral or had those viral breakout winners within the first 30 days of your program. Then you'll run a second kickoff call and share the data. Now, you can get all of your creators in this one plus your new ones. That way, the new creators also have a chance to interact with the other creators in the community, and you have a much higher chance of building great rapport with them because you already have a consistent creator community. Everyone has their own, cool stuff, And, at this point, you're really developing a team here. It's not just hiring a ton of freelancers. And these creators are going to be more than happy to hop on a call with you again after they've already had a successful first 30 days. You've already paid them out. They've already got their money. They're going to be much happier to show up to this call, share over their wins, their ideas on how they want to go viral moving forward, all those sorts of awesome things. And then again, you want to add that new recording to your Loom library so that everybody can have a chance to take a look at it later in case there's any important information. Moving on to phase number 9. This is scale and monitor. More volume, smarter targeting, earned trust from your proven creators. So ease pre-approval for the proven creators. This just depends on how your process actually looks. You either do go through the approval process or not. Some people are different here. I always recommend doing it, but I will say it is pretty tough reviewing every single piece of content that goes live. But let's say you were. If your proven creators are already doing really good, one of the best things that you can do is just drop the approval process. If you have a creator that's already doing millions of views, then there's literally no point of view, reviewing their videos anymore, because chances are they probably know better than you do when it comes to this. So the last thing that you want to do is have them make a change to a video that actually results in a negative way. So creators who nailed month 1 can just post directly. You might want to check in every once in a while, but most of the time they can just post directly. You want to make sure that your new or borderline creators do stay on full review though. So if you have a couple creators that you took the bet on that made it through the first 30 days and are on the second month, you'll make sure they're still doing a good job, but you think that they have the chance of going viral, you want to make sure they're still sending in those videos for review. Then you want to push volume on the winning formats. So top pillars get 2 to 3 videos per creator per week. More posts equals a faster signal on what's trending within your best content types. But you do want to save a couple videos for experimenting with new formats, because every once in a while, you'll just sit there and post the same 2 to 3 videos over and over and over and over until that format starts to die out. So if you save a couple posts a week to try new things, but spend the majority of the week doing the things that work, you typically have a much better success rate. Okay, and then track weekly, not monthly. The common thing that most people make a mistake is that they'll always just look at their stats at the end of the month, but you won't have any time to do anything if you do that. So you want to be pulling your RTech data every single week. Again, you can do this by 7 days, 14 days, 30 days. You can also do custom as well if you want to go and backtrack. You want to be pulling that data every single week. So catching format fatigue or engagement drops early and course correcting within the same month is what separates campaigns that scale from ones that plateau. So yeah, basically catching problems early and making those decisions. At the end of the day, you are kind of the puppet master here on this program. Creator's job is just to kind of post every single day. Your job is to look out for strategy and lead the team in the right direction. Here's a quick tip for you. UGC campaigns follow a proper law. A small number of creators and formats drive the majority of results. Find those early and put your most resources there. Stop trying to make everything work equally. And then as you can see the formats here. You've got talking head, relatable, trending audio, and others. You can see that they all kind of have a healthy mix of top posts. So these will be the 3 most important formats to follow moving forward. No matter how many creators you have on the team, you want to make sure that they're following these things because they were proven in that discovery sprint phase. Which leads me to the full velocity month number 3. This is where you expand the creator roster if things are going well. You can recruit 5 to 10 new creators with proof in hand. Same platforms as month 1, but now you can see and show real results in a live campaign. This attracts noticeably better applicants than a cold pitch ever could. On board with your self-service system, new creators get Brief 2.0 and the full Loom library. Your onboarding should now work without you being on call every single time. You can test a second platform carefully. If you're on TikTok first, maybe pilot 1 to 2 creators cross-posting to YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. Validate the platform before committing your full roster. What does this mean? Well, now that you've already had 2 successful months, month number 3 is about continuing to keep scaling on those results. Maybe throw in a new platform. Maybe experiment with a couple different deal structures with your creators. This is really the phase where you can kind of start to figure out how you're going to scale things. Month 1 and 2 are about validating. Month number 3 is about scaling, and that's why I call it full velocity. Another really important here is phase 11. It's called content compounding. You'll build a swipe file of winning hooks. So basically a Notion library of all the awesome resources that all your new creators can take a look at. This is kind of like Brief 3.0. Every great performing hook from month 1 to 2 gets cataloged and shared with all your creators. Hooks are the single highest leverage element of any UGC. Treat them like gold. At this point, if you're already super successful, you might now want to start layering in paid creatives. You can take the top UGC organic videos and then run those into your paid funnel. Your best organic content is almost certainly your best ad creative. Your best organic content is almost certainly your best ad creative. Flag top performers for your paid team to test paid social immediately. Now, of course, if you don't have a paid team, then this is kind of irrelevant for you. If you're thinking about getting into paid ads, but you already have a successful UGC team, I say just double down on the UGC team, as UGC typically outperforms paid for consumer apps. And then phase number 12 is system review and handoff. Build a machine so it basically runs without you in every decision. So you'll document all your SOPs, brief creation, creator recruiting, onboarding, review process, and performance analysis, all written up so a new team member can basically run the system without you explaining it live. So this is where you'll start to actually deploy creator managers. So they'll be the ones that are, looking at the content, sending in those revisions, sending in winning content, basically, managing the community itself, maybe processing creator payouts. That's how you continue to keep scaling, so you don't have to be working in the creator system every single day. If you already have a ton of content winners in the past, you already have a successful group of creators that are doing really well, then it's easier to onboard a creator manager that can basically just maintain the system now that it's well-oiled and doing well. Day 90 milestone check. So this is what you should be striving for by the 3rd month. You should have a documented running UGC engine, a proven creator roster, a data-backed brief, a clear performance baseline, and a system that no longer depends entirely. Here's a quick goal for all of you to strive for the day 90 milestone. By day 90, you should have a documented running UGC engine. And the milestone that you should be shooting for after day 90 is a documented running UGC engine, a proven creator roster, a data-backed brief, a clear performance baseline, and a system that no longer depends entirely on you to operate. That's the win condition. If you can achieve this, then you have built yourself a successful UGC program. And then it's up to you. Maybe you want to start a new consumer app, or you want to continue to keep working on the product side, or maybe you absolutely love the organic distribution and want to continue to keep compounding and building your creator team. If you follow this exact same framework, then you will build yourself a successful 3-month UGC system. It'll be a well-oiled machine that will grow month after month and continue to keep building that top of funnel awareness for your consumer app. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you learned something. If you want to learn more, you can always check the description and join my invite-only community where I share awesome updates. I have weekly group calls and one-on-one calls with you guys in order to make your UGC system better than ever before. And if you want to book a discovery call with me, I'd be more than happy to discover what you're working on and what I suggest to build your own UGC program, or if I could even do it for you. Thanks so much for watching the video, and take care.